I always believed humiliation was loud. Shouting, insults, broken plates. I was wrong. Sometimes humiliation is quiet. Sometimes it comes dressed in a soft smile, holding a serving spoon, and telling you in front of everyone you love that you don't belong at your own table. And the worst part? Everyone heard her, and no one said a word. It was a Sunday afternoon, the kind that looks peaceful from the outside. The house smelled of roasted chicken, cinnamon, and something sweet my wife always made when her mother visited. The dining table was extended. Extra chairs, polished plates, crystal glasses we only used when guests came. Her mother sat at the center of the table. Of course she did. My wife, Nadia, moved around the kitchen like she was hosting royalty. Her brothers were laughing loudly. Her aunt was complimenting the decor. My kids were excited because family gatherings meant dessert before bedtime. I stood near the doorway for a moment, watching. This house, I had bought it 5 years ago. Every chair at that table, I assembled it myself. The extension piece, my idea. But that day, something felt different. Colder. I pulled out a chair beside my son. Nadia froze. Not dramatically, not angrily, just froze. Then she leaned toward me and said, softly but clear enough for everyone to hear, "Can you sit in the living room today? This day is for my mother." Silence. The kind that makes your ears ring. I thought she was joking. I even smiled. She didn't. Her mother avoided eye contact. Her brother looked at his phone. My daughter stared at me, confused. I felt 20 pairs of eyes watching to see what I would do. "Sorry?" I asked quietly. Nadia straightened her posture. "We're celebrating Mom. It's her special day. I want her surrounded by her real family at the table." Real family. The words didn't hit immediately. They settled slowly, like poison. I didn't argue. That's what shocked them. I nodded. "Of course," I said. I walked into the living room and sat on the couch. I could hear laughter from the dining room, plates clinking. Her voice, bright, proud. "To the strongest woman I know, my mother." Applause. I stared at the wall. 5 years of marriage, 2 children, mortgage payments, late nights working overtime, and I was sitting on my own couch while strangers ate at my table. Something inside me shifted that day. Not anger. Clarity. It wasn't the first time Nadia chose her mother over me, but it was the first time she did it publicly. Her mother's opinion mattered more than mine. Her mother's advice overruled my decisions. Even when we bought this house, Nadia said, "Mom thinks the kitchen should be bigger." Not I think. Mom thinks. I told myself it was normal. Close families are good families, right? But closeness and control are different things, and I had confused the two. Halfway through dinner, my son walked into the living room. "Dad?" I looked up. "Why aren't you eating with us?" Children don't whisper. They ask the question adults are too afraid of. "It's Grandma's special day," I said. He frowned. "But you're my dad. You're family too." That hurt more than Nadia's sentence. Because he was right, and he saw it. When the guests finally left, Nadia began clearing dishes. I walked into the kitchen. "Can we talk?" She sighed, already defensive. "You're overreacting." I didn't react. "Exactly. You're acting like a victim." I stared at her. "You told me I'm not real family." "That's not what I meant." "Then what did you mean?" She hesitated. "It was Mom's day. I didn't want tension." Tension. So removing her husband was easier than managing her mother's ego. I nodded slowly. "I understand." She looked relieved. But she misunderstood my understanding. 3 months ago, I had received an offer, a promotion, in another city. Higher pay, better opportunities for our children. I hadn't accepted yet, because Nadia said her mother couldn't live with her. That night, after the table incident, I opened my laptop and I accepted. 2 weeks later, we sat at the same table, just the four of us. "I've accepted a new position," I said calmly. Nadia blinked. "What?" "We're moving." Her face strained of color. "What about Mom?" "She can visit." "You can't just decide this." I held her gaze. "I can. Apparently, I'm not real family anyway." She flinched. That was the first time the weight of her words returned to her. When Nadia told her mother, chaos erupted. "She's abandoning me," her mother cried. I stayed silent. For years, I had tried to compete for priority in my own marriage. Now I didn't compete. I simply chose. And that was more powerful than any argument. That night, Nadia came into our bedroom quietly. "Are you really willing to break our family over one dinner?" I looked at her carefully. "It wasn't one dinner." She didn't speak. "It was every time my opinion didn't matter. Every time your mother's comfort was more important than my respect." Her eyes filled with tears. "I didn't realize." "I know. And that was the problem. I didn't demand she cut her mother off. I didn't insult anyone. I set one boundary. I will not be secondary in my own home again." It was simple, clear, non-negotiable. For the first time in our marriage, the decision wasn't about her mother. It was about us. Nadia didn't answer immediately. But the following Sunday, something unexpected happened. She invited her mother over again. I felt the tension. The table was set. Everyone seated. She stood up before serving the food. "I need to say something," she said. Her mother looked surprised. Nadia took a breath. "My husband belongs at this table, always. I made a mistake." Silence. Her mother's expression hardened. But for the first time, Nadia didn't look at her. She looked at me and pulled out the chair beside her. "For my real family," she said. Respect isn't loud. It doesn't scream. It doesn't demand applause. But when it's taken away, even quietly, it echoes. That day, I learned something important. Love without boundaries turns into permission. Permission for disrespect, permission for exclusion, permission to shrink. And sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is calmly stand up from the table so they understand exactly what it costs to remove you.